My mother asked me a question I couldn't answer. Not because I didn't understand the question, not because it was complicated, because the honest answer was too painful to say out loud, too revealing, too confronting, the kind of answer that forces you to see your life clearly instead of through the comfortable lies you tell yourself. If your parent has ever asked you something that made you question everything, comment mother below. I'm recording this because something happened last week that I can't stop thinking about. A conversation with my mother, May. She's 77 years old and she's getting older, not just numerically, actually older, slower, frailer. The kind of older that reminds you time is limited, that the people you love won't be here forever, that conversations you have now might be the last conversations you have. We were sitting together, just the two of us, and she asked me two questions, two simple questions. Questions that sound innocent, questions that seem like normal parent-child conversation, but um, questions that cut straight through everything I've built, everything I've accomplished, everything I tell myself about my life. Questions that reveal truth I've been avoiding, truth I couldn't answer, truth that's been haunting me since the first question. Do your children feel proud of you? The second question, when was the last time you were truly happy? Two questions. I couldn't answer either one. Not honestly, not out loud, not to my mother, not to myself. Because the honest answers would reveal that despite everything I've achieved, despite all the success and wealth and accomplishment, I've failed at what actually matters. I built everything and lost everything at the same time. Let me tell you about the context, about why she asked, about what led to this conversation. Because it wasn't random, it wasn't casual, it was deliberate. It was a mother who's running out of time asking her son the questions that mattered before. It's too late to ask them. My mother is 77. She's been healthy, active, independent, the kind of 77 that doesn't feel old, that still seems like she has decades left. But recently that's changed. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but noticeably. She's slower. She forgets things sometimes. She gets tired faster. Small things. Things most people wouldn't notice, but I notice because she's my mother. And I can see what those small things mean. She's aging, really aging, and time is running out. We were having lunch, just the two of us. Something we don't do often enough, something I've been too busy for, too focused on work for, too distracted by achievement for. But I made time because I could see the changes. Because I knew, even if I didn't want to admit it, that our time together is limited now. That every conversation might be one of the last. That I need to prioritize this before it's too late. And she looked at me, really looked at me the way mothers do when they're seeing past the surface. Past the success, past the image, past everything you show the world, seeing the actual person underneath, seeing the truth you're hiding even from yourself. And she said, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Not with me, with yourself. That's how she started. Not as a casual question, as a deliberate moment. As a mother using her remaining time to ask what matters, to say what needs to be said, to make sure her son faces truth before it's too late for truth to matter. Then she asked, do your children feel proud of you? When was the last time you were truly happy? And I couldn't answer. I sat there silent, trying to find words that weren't lies, trying to find answers that were honest, and failing, because the honest answers were too painful, too revealing, too confronting. The first question, do your children feel proud of you? That's what she asked first. And I couldn't answer because the honest answer is, I don't know. And that's devastating. That's the kind of answer that reveals complete failure. That shows you've been focused on the wrong things. That proves success at work can coexist with failure at what actually matters. I have children, multiple children, and I don't know if they're proud of me. I don't know because I haven't been present enough to know. Haven't been involved enough to understand how they see me. Haven't prioritized them enough to build the kind of relationship where I know the answer to that question without having to guess. I've been building companies, making money, achieving things, becoming successful in ways the world measures success. And my children, they've been growing up, forming opinions about me, deciding how they feel about having me as a father. And I don't know what those opinions are. Don't know what they've decided. Don't know if they're proud or disappointed or somewhere in between. That's failure. Complete failure. The kind that matters more than any professional failure ever could. succeeded at everything the world values, and failed at everything that actually matters. My children don't know me well enough to be proud of me, or they do know me and they're not proud. Either answer is devastating. My mother asked because she knows music, she's seen me prioritize work over family, seen me miss moments, seen me be absent even when present, seen me choose achievement over relationship over and over again. She's watched me make the same mistakes for years. And now at 77, running out of time, she's asking the question I've been avoiding, forcing me to face what I've done, what I've sacrificed, what I've lost. Do your children feel proud of you? I don't know. And not knowing is the answer. Not knowing means I've failed. Not knowing means I've been absent. Not knowing means I've prioritized wrong. Not knowing means everything I've achieved professionally doesn't matter because I've failed at what actually matters. The second question, when was the last time you were truly happy? That's what she asked. Second, after I failed to answer the first question, after sitting there in silence, unable to find honest words, she asked another question I couldn't answer. Another question that revealed truth I've been hiding from. When was I last truly happy? Not successful, not accomplished, not wealthy, not achieved, happy. Actually happy in a moment. Feeling joy, feeling contentment, feeling like life is good and this is where I want to be and this is what I want to be doing. I couldn't answer because I couldn't remember. Couldn't point to a recent moment of genuine happiness. Couldn't identify when I last felt joy instead of just satisfaction with achievement. Couldn't recall the last time I was happy instead of just distracted from unhappiness by busyness. That's terrifying. That's the kind of answer that reveals your life is empty even while full of success. That shows achievement doesn't create happiness. That proves you can build everything and feel nothing. That demonstrates you've been chasing the wrong things for so long you've forgotten what the right things feel like. I'm 54 years old. I've achieved everything most people dream of achieving. I have wealth and success and status and accomplishment. I've built companies that matter, made impacts that will last, reached goals that seemed impossible. By every external measure, my life is extraordinary. By every internal measure, the measures that actually matter, my life is empty. When was I last truly happy? Years ago, maybe decades ago, before success consumed everything, before achievement became the only thing I measured, before I started living for accomplishments instead of moments, before work became everything and life became nothing. My mother asked because she can see it, can see that I'm not happy, can see that success hasn't made me happy, can see that despite everything I've built, I'm empty, hollow, going through motions, achieving without joy, succeeding without happiness, living without life. She asked because she's 77 and she knows what matters, knows that at the end of life, what you remember isn't achievements, it's moments, it's happiness, it's time with people you love, it's joy. And she can see that I'm not living that way, that I'm chasing things that won't matter, that I'm building a life I'll regret when I'm 77. And looking back, when was I last truly happy? I don't know, can't remember. And that's the most devastating answer of all, because it means I've spent years, maybe decades, not being happy, not even noticing I'm not happy, just working, just achieving, just building, just chasing more success while missing life entirely. I sat there silent, my mother waiting. These two questions hanging in the air. Questions I should be able to answer. Questions that should have immediate, obvious answers if my life is going the right way. Questions that shouldn't be hard. And I couldn't answer. Not out loud, not honestly, because the honest answers would reveal too much, would force me to see truths I've been avoiding, would require admitting failure I haven't wanted to admit. I couldn't answer because the truth is my children probably aren't proud of me. They probably see me as absent, as choosing work over them, as being the father who's always too busy, who misses things, who's physically present but mentally elsewhere, who achieved everything professionally while failing at fatherhood. That's probably how they see me. And admitting that out loud to my mother, to myself, means facing the cost of my choices. The real cost, the cost that matters. I couldn't answer because the truth is I can't remember being truly happy. Can't point to recent joy. Can't identify moments of contentment. Can't remember what happiness feels like beyond the brief satisfaction of achieving something and then immediately looking for the next thing to achieve. That's not happiness. That's just distraction. That's just avoiding unhappiness through constant motion. And admitting that out loud means admitting that everything I've built, all the success, all the wealth, all the achievement, it hasn't created what I actually need, what I actually want, what would actually matter. I couldn't answer because answering honestly means admitting failure, means admitting that I've been wrong about priorities, means admitting that I've wasted years, maybe decades, chasing things that don't matter while neglecting things that do. Means admitting that at 54, with all my success, I've somehow failed at life, failed at happiness, failed at what actually counts. That's hard to admit to your mother, to yourself, to anyone, that despite everything you've achieved, you failed. That despite being successful by every external measure, you're failing by every internal measure. That you've built everything wrong, prioritized everything wrong, lived everything wrong. So I sat there, silent, unable to answer, unable to face the truth those questions revealed, unable to admit out loud what I knew inside. That the answer to both questions, the honest answer, reveals complete failure at what matters most. After the silence, after watching me struggle to answer, after seeing that I couldn't find words that were honest, my mother said something that's been replaying in my mind constantly since. Something that shifted everything. Something that forced me to see clearly what I've been avoiding. She said, I'm 77 years old. I don't have decades left. Maybe I have years, maybe less. And I'm watching you waste your life, watching you chase things that don't matter while missing things that do, watching you be successful and unhappy, watching you achieve everything and feel nothing. And I need to tell you before I die, you're running out of time to change this. You're running out of time to fix your relationship with your children. You're running out of time to find happiness instead of just achievement. You're running out of time to live instead of just work. And if you don't change soon, you'll be 77 too. And you'll look back and realize you wasted your entire life building things that didn't matter while missing things that did. That's what she said. Direct, harsh, true. The kind of truth only a mother who's running out of time can say. The kind of truth you need to hear even when you don't want to hear it. The kind of truth that changes everything if you're willing to listen. She's right about all of it. I am wasting my life. I am chasing things that don't matter. I'm successful and unhappy. I am achieving without feeling. I am running out of time to change. I am building a life I'll regret. I am missing what matters while focusing on what doesn't. And hearing it from my mother, seeing her at 77, watching her age, knowing our time together is limited, it hit differently than if anyone else had said it. It wasn't judgment. It was urgency. It was a mother trying to save her son from regret before it's too late to save him. It was love expressed as harsh truth. It was, please don't waste your life the way you're wasting it because music. I won't be here to watch you realize you wasted it. And I need to know before I die that you're living right. Sitting there with my mother, unable to answer her questions, hearing her tell me I'm wasting my life. I realized something that's been shifting my entire perspective since. Something about priorities and time and what actually matters. I realized I've been living like I have forever. Like there's unlimited time to fix relationships. Like there's always later to be happy. Like achievement now and life later is a viable strategy. Like I can keep chasing success indefinitely and eventually I'll transition to living. Like time is infinite and I can waste as much as I want without consequence. I'm wrong. Time isn't infinite. My mother is 77 and aging. My children are growing up. Years are passing. Decades are passing. And I'm spending them wrong. Spending them on things that don't create what I actually need. Don't create connection with my children. Don't create happiness. Don't create life worth living. Just create achievement. Just create success. Just create accomplishments that feel empty as soon as they're accomplished. I realize my children are forming opinions about me right now, deciding right now how they feel about me, building right now their understanding. of who I am and whether that person matters to them. And I'm not there for it. I'm not present for the time when their opinions form. Music, I'm working, I'm achieving, I'm building. And they're growing up deciding I'm the father who wasn't there, who chose work over them, who achieved everything professionally while failing at fatherhood. And once those opinions form, once they decide who I am, it's hard to change them, maybe impossible to change them. You don't get to redo your children's childhood. Don't get to go back and be present for years you spent absent. Don't get to replay the time when you should have been building relationship but were building companies instead. That time is gone, and the consequences are permanent. I realized happiness isn't on the other side of achievement. I've spent decades thinking that the next achievement would create happiness, that success would lead to fulfillment, that reaching the next goal would finally make me feel satisfied. It never does. It never has. Every achievement feels good briefly and then fades. Every goal reached reveals another goal. Every success makes me immediately look for more success. The happiness I'm chasing isn't at the end of achievement. It's somewhere else entirely in places I've been ignoring while chasing achievement. I realize my mother won't be here forever. This conversation, sitting together, her asking hard questions, me unable to answer, this might be one of our last real conversations. She's 77, she's aging, time is running out, and if I don't change now, if I don't prioritize her, spend time with her, be present with her, I'll lose her soon, and I'll regret every moment I spent working instead of with her. Every choice to be busy instead of present. Every time I prioritized achievement over her, my mother asked me two questions I couldn't answer. Questions that revealed I'm wasting my life. Questions that forced me to see I failed at what matters. Questions that are haunting me. Questions that are changing everything about how I'm living now. And I'm asking you the same questions. Not to judge you, not to make you feel bad, but because these questions matter. Because everyone needs to answer them. Because if you can't answer them honestly, you're probably making the same mistakes I'm making, wasting the same time, missing the same things. First question. Do your children or the people who matter most to you feel proud of you? Not for your achievements, not for your success, for who you are, for how you've treated them, for the time you've given them, for the relationship you've built. Do they feel proud to have you in their life, or have you been absent? Have you prioritized wrong? Have you built success while failing at relationship? If you don't know the answer, if you're not sure, that's the answer. Not knowing means you haven't been present enough, haven't prioritized them enough, haven't built the relationship where you know, and that's failure. The kind that matters more than professional success ever could. Second question, when was the last time you were truly happy, not satisfied with achievement, not briefly pleased about success? Actually happy, feeling joy, feeling content, feeling like life is good and this moment is good and you're exactly where you want to be. When was that? If you can't remember, if you have to think hard to identify it, that's the answer. That means you're not living for happiness. You're living for something else. Achievement, maybe success, busyness, distraction, but not happiness. And that means you're wasting your life building things that don't create what you actually need, chasing goals that don't lead to what you actually want. Share this. If a parent has asked you something that changed everything, comment, Mother, if these questions revealed something you needed to see. Subscribe for more uncomfortable truths that matter more than comfortable lies.